There is something strange about the quiet person in the room. They don't talk much. They don't try to impress anyone. They don't fight to be heard. But somehow, they see everything. They notice the fake smiles. They notice the tension between two people who say they're friends. They notice who gets interrupted and who never gets listened to. They notice who changes their personality depending on who walks into the room. And the strange part is, nobody notices that they are noticing. Pause for a moment and think about your life. How many times have you understood a situation without anyone explaining it? How many times have you known someone was lying, but you said nothing? How many times have you seen the end of a relationship long before it actually ended? Some people call this overthinking, but it's not overthinking. It's pattern recognition. Most people live moment to moment. They react to what is happening right now. They listen to words. They believe explanations. They judge based on single events. But observers don't look at moments. They look at patterns. They notice that someone is nice, but only when they need something. They notice that someone jokes a lot, but never talks about their real life. They notice that someone always talks about loyalty, but disappears when things get difficult. They notice that the loudest person in the room is often the most insecure. Patterns are very hard to fake. People can control what they say. People can control what they show for a short time. But nobody can control what they repeat. And observers watch what repeats. That is why quiet people often understand people faster. They are not distracted by talking. They are not distracted by trying to be liked. They are not distracted by trying to impress anyone. They are just watching. And when you watch long enough, people show you exactly who they are. But here is something most people never talk about. Many observers did not choose to become observers. They learned it very early in life. They grew up in environments where they had to read the room. They had to notice mood changes. They had to notice tone of voice. They had to notice when it was safe to talk and when it was better to stay quiet. So their brain adapted. They became very good at watching, very good at listening, very good at sensing tension, very good at understanding people without being told anything. For them, silence was not awkward. Silence was information. And that skill never left them. Now they walk into rooms and immediately feel the atmosphere. They can tell who respects who is pretending, who is uncomfortable, who wants approval, who feels threatened, who is confident, who is acting confident. But there is a price for seeing everything. Because when you understand people deeply, you also see things you wish you didn't see. You see when someone doesn't respect you. You see when someone is pretending to be your friend. You see when someone is jealous of you. You see when someone is lying to themselves. You see when someone only values you when you are useful. And sometimes, you sit there quietly, understanding everything, while everyone thinks you understand nothing. That is a very strange place to live. Because the more you understand people, the less you feel like explaining yourself to them. You start talking less, arguing less, explaining less. You start watching more. And then one day, you realize something that changes everything. Not everything you see needs a reaction. Not everything you understand needs to be explained. Not everything you notice needs to become a conversation. Sometimes silence is not weakness. Sometimes silence is control. Because when you speak, people learn about you. But when you stay quiet, you learn about them. And people always reveal themselves. Always. They reveal themselves in what they repeat. They reveal themselves in how they treat people who can do nothing for them. They reveal themselves in moments where they think nobody is paying attention. And the observer is always paying attention. In the natural world, survival does not belong to the loudest animal. It belongs to the most observant. Consider two birds. The mockingbird sings constantly, mimicking other sounds, always announcing its presence. It is loud, noticeable, and constantly performing. But it controls nothing. Now consider the owl. The owl has some of the most advanced hearing and vision in the animal kingdom. It can hear a mouse moving under snow. It sees in near total darkness. But the owl's greatest weapon is not its eyes. It is its feathers. Owls have specialized feathers that break the turbulence of the air. When an owl flies, it makes almost no sound. It moves like a ghost. Why? Because to gather accurate information, you must not disturb the environment you are observing. When you speak, you change the room. You influence people. You change how they behave. But when you are silent, the environment stays natural. People forget you are watching, and because they forget, they show you who they really are. Your silence is not weakness, it is camouflage. So how do you master this trait in a loud world? Here are 2 rules for the observing mind. Step 1. The 3-second void. The next time someone tells you a story or makes an excuse, do not reply immediately. When they finish speaking, look at them calmly and wait 3 full seconds. Watch how quickly they scramble to explain themselves further. Let the silence do the heavy lifting. Step 2. Observe, do not absorb. Just because you notice a lie or a toxic trait does not mean you have to correct it. Let them be wrong. Save your energy. Use the data to adjust your boundaries, not to start a war. You do not need to announce everything you see. Let the room speak. You just watch. Here is the realization most observers eventually come to. The loudest person in the room is rarely the most powerful. The most powerful person is usually the one who understands everyone else, while nobody realizes they are being understood. Power is not always loud. Power is not always confident. Power is not always visible. Sometimes power is quiet. Sometimes power is patient. Sometimes power is simply seeing things clearly. So if you are the quiet one, the one who listens more than they speak, the one who notices everything, the one who understands people very quickly, there is nothing wrong with you. You are not slow. You are not boring. You are not invisible. You are watching. You are learning. You are understanding how people really work. And in a world where everyone is trying to be heard, the rarest person is the one who sees everything and still chooses silence. And there is one more thing that many quiet observers experience, but almost nobody talks about. After spending time around people, after conversations, meetings, family gatherings, social events, you don't just feel tired, you feel drained. Not physically, emotionally, mentally. It's not that you don't like people. It's not that you don't enjoy conversations. It's something else. It's the constant observing, the constant reading between the lines, the constant noticing tone, energy, tension, emotions, expectations, reactions. While other people are just talking, your mind is processing everything. And that takes energy, a lot of energy. In fact, many people who are very observant, very empathetic, and very aware of their environment often leave social situations feeling exhausted, even if nothing bad happened. So in the next video, we're going to talk about something very important. Why some people feel completely drained after socializing, what is actually happening in the brain, and how to protect your energy without isolating yourself from the world. Because understanding people is powerful, but learning how to protect your energy is just as important. And if you've ever wondered why you feel so tired after being around people, the next video might explain a lot about your life.